Hey mom, how's it going?
Lindsay, I am having a fantastic day. How are you doing?
I'm doing good besides some Wi-Fi outages. I was a little bit concerned. I heard the people who like cut the grass, the landscapers come through my neighborhood and then all of a sudden the Wi-Fi went out. I was a little bit concerned that they cut some sort of line or something, but we're back miraculously. So happy to be here.
Agreed. I'm super happy. I have been waiting for this episode for a while, to be quite honest. We are very fortunate to have Jason Kilgo from Kilgo Insurance with us. And here's the reason I am super excited. This guy brings energy like you've never ever seen. So, Jason, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate for having me, and I apologize. It's been so hard to schedule. Just that energy has been moving, and we're doing big things. So sorry about that.
Nah, never apologize. I love that you're building new things. That's the reason we want to have you on here. So
Awesome.
I'm super thrilled, absolutely thrilled. And you're worth the wait. How about that? You're absolutely worth the wait, my friend.
I
The
appreciate you.
anticipation has been building, Jason, so you better deliver on this episode. All
That's
right?
right. No pressure.
No
So
pressure.
yeah, so people maybe someone out there in this world of ours doesn't know who you are. So let's just say that that's possible. Tell us a
Sure.
little bit about how in the world did you find yourself in insurance? Give us that little backstory.
Yeah, Jason Kilgo, Kilgo Insurance. Like everyone, I needed a job, and I had two choices: either sell insurance or sell credit cards. And I was like, I don't want to sell credit cards, so I walked right into the insurance company. It was Geico. And I said, look, who's your best seller? Hire me right now and I'll beat them. And that's what I did. I just learned
I
everything
love
I
it.
could and outsold everyone.
Yeah, I told you energy people, energy. He's a competitive guy, so I
Just don't
love
give
it.
up. I just did not give up. Relentless.
So let me just ask you, we've met, I don't exactly know where we met to be quite honest with you, but if I had to venture to say we probably met through mutual connections. Is that fair, Jason? Do you
I
know
would
the
say that's
story?
fair. Yes, at
Yeah.
conferences.
Yeah, I think so too. So, you know, I guess the thing for me, I'm 4 years into my business. How long have you had Kilgo?
We are eight, we'll be 9 years in October.
So would you agree that when you're building something, sometimes it feels a little alone, like you feel a little isolated and alone because you got to make all these decisions, you got to figure stuff out, you got to lead a team, you got to get the clients, build the trust. Like there's all these things, right? And
Sure.
sometimes it feels pretty alone. What's been your strategy to mitigate that for yourself? Like tell me how you've dealt with that. I know how I've dealt with it, but how about you?
Yeah. I think it's just my personality that I love to meet people. I love to learn. And I feel like when I talk to someone, there's something I can learn from them. And every agency does it different. That's why you started your own agency. And I want to take as much as I can of what they have done great at. And I don't want to copy it. I want to take a piece of it, make it my own, and make us better for that expertise of what they've done. And then we want to create expertise as well. We want people to mimic us and everybody get better. Our goal in my agency is to educate. We want to lead with the umbrella. We want to make sure people have great coverages and know what they're paying for. I think this insurance industry, people are just paying premiums and caring about what they're paying. They don't understand what they actually have or what insurance does, or what it would happen if something if an accident or claim happens. That's our whole goal. But for me, I want to know everybody, and
Mhm.
I think that really is a big part of our success, is because when something happens, I know exactly who I can go to. That's going to be the expert in that. I don't have to be the expert in everything.
So, Jason, when you and I first got a chance to get to know each other was at Paradiso Mastermind last year, and you were lucky enough to sit right behind me. So at lunch, when I, sat down with my plate and had the people on the side of me weren't there, I turned right around and said, "Hey," to you. I think it was you, Billy, and I think it was Steve Hawley, if I believe correctly.
And
One of the
Klinger,
first
Robert
things,
Klinger,
Oh,
what
Robert Klinger,
Robert
Bob
Klinger. I
Klinger.
think it was,
Yeah.
yeah, Robert
could
Klinger,
have
Steve
been.
Holly. I mean, we had everybody. I mean, Matt and Amoli, we had everybody with us.
Everybody was there. But one of the things I remember talking about was your mastermind group, because I was in the process with Jackson Rollo, who was also at the event,
Amazing
of,
agent. He's a great guy.
yeah, he's awesome, of starting our own little kind of group to say, hey, what's going on over there? How can I, borrow some of your knowledge and you borrow some of mine? How can we help share some of the things we're learning as we're growing in the industry? And I was telling you guys a little bit about that, and you were like, yeah, it sounds a little bit like what we've been doing. And before we were coming on, I think I was asking you, how long have you guys had your little group where you meet regularly and talk about business and stuff like that?
So we meet at least once a month. It
Okay.
used to be where we take 3 trips a year. Now we take two. So this year we'll be in Charleston in April, Charleston, South Carolina.
That's where I
We'll
live.
be in what is it? The wine country,
Napa.
Napa.
Napa. I think
Fun.
I couldn't remember that. My wife's definitely going on that trip. Yeah, so we'll be in Napa in October, which I heard is like the best time to go. So those are our 2 trips. And then the times we're not meeting, we're doing a Zoom call where everybody gets on and everybody gets about 3 to 5 minutes to kind of share, wins, challenges, what's going on. And we kind of come up with just topics that are trending or that are a problem or challenging, and really just trying to walk through it to where we're helping each other's agencies out.
How many years have you guys been meeting for? Like, when did this start?
So I'm going to tell you a cool story. So when I found out about IAOA, I went to the Vegas conference, and it really, at that point in my life, I mean, this is years ago, so I can't even remember, but I know I was kind of struggling financially a little bit. I was like, man, I don't know. And so I just happened to meet up with Nate Bunty,
Mm.
and he was like, hey, let's just get an Airbnb and share it. It's going to save us money, and then we can just go right over to the hotel for the conference. I was like, great, right? That's one problem solved. Well, conference wrapped up, and that night I'm like, hey man, what do you want to do? He's like, well, I can't hang tonight. I've got to do some work. He's sitting there at the kitchen table, pen and paper, taking all these notes and everything. And I'm like, what the heck is this guy doing? The conference is over. Like, note taking days are over. Let's go party. And it got me talking to him that the next day he had a presentation for the mastermind. And I was like, man, this is pretty serious. He's like, yeah. He's like, so we take a full day. Each agent gets an hour to talk about, what they want or what feedback they want and need from all the other agents in the room in the mastermind.
Cool.
And I was like, wow, I need that. Like, I need that accountability. I need that advice. And he started naming all the agents that were in the group. And I was like, dude, I got to get in. He's like, well, you can't get in. He's like, I think we're full right now and this and that. Well, anyways, fast forward. And by the way, Nate was very gracious enough to let me meet everybody in the group. I didn't know everybody. I didn't even know Steve Holly, and he's literally in Virginia, 3 hours from me. Great dude. I talk to him almost every day. Nate was going through some problems with his partners in his agency and ended up having to sell. So what happened is, because of that introduction and the fact that I knew Nate, the group voted me in.
Hmm.
And so that's how I got into the mastermind. And I think if I look back, and I think the group would tell you this, they were looking for someone like me. They need somebody with some energy. They need someone that was, starting organic. And not that everybody did, but I was newer, right? I wasn't as old. I wasn't as much premium, and I wasn't as many years as some of the other agents in our group. So I also brought like a sales skill
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
group. And I think
Cool.
they really took a lot of value in that, on how they can train their producers how to sell. Everybody in our group, it's very interesting because they bring a level of expertise in one dimension, but we've got somebody in the group that can help with the opposite dimension of things, their weakness, of what they need to work with, what they need to
Yeah.
work on. So
Was that strategic?
yeah, oh, for sure. I mean, right now I just feel blessed that I got in, but I think a lot of it had to do with my personality. I think it had to do a lot with what we can offer and how well we blend it, how well I blend it with the group. It was very easy transition for me to get in there. When I walked in, even though I didn't know most of the members, within an hour, it felt like we were all brothers and sisters.
That's
So
awesome. Yeah.
it blended really well. I mean, we're a true group that really cares about each other's well-being and are rooting for each other from afar, but then are there. Like I can call any of them up, and even if they're in a meeting, I will get a call that day. I will get a phone call back, and they'll be like, "Hey, brother, what's going on? What can I help with?"
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
we really keep tabs on everybody. We keep tabs on the family, on the personal aspect. We have accountability meetings. One of the things that I'll say that I've taken so much from the group. I mean, we would have to run like a weeks long podcast to kind of explain what this group has done for me. But one of the cool things that it's done is it's allowed me to put a scorecard together
Mm.
and hold myself and my team accountable for what we're doing personally and for business. And that's
So
been
tell me what
huge.
that
That's a
means.
game
Like,
changer.
so
Yeah.
what is your SCAR like? So the whole point is this has been almost like your board of directors, if you will. Like there's people out there that understand your business enough to be able to challenge some of your thoughts, to be able to help you build and think about those ideas in a much more collective and well-rounded way. And that's what a board does for you. So in essence, they're kind of like your board of directors. Is that fair?
Of course. I mean,
Yeah,
I think the hardest part of the business is managing people,
sure.
hiring, firing, training, managing.
Sure.
And those are key parts of every single conversation we have.
Yeah.
Billy Wagner's in our group. He's been gracious enough to share. He's got like a 21 step hiring process. Before I met Billy, I had like a 10 step. Now that I've met Billy, I've got like a 25 step. I mean, it just keeps getting added on to the things that we need to do to try to secure someone that's going to be able to do the job and be an A player and
Yeah.
not just hire someone to put a button in the seat or be a B player.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have been able to get to those steps without his advice, without, him showing me how to do that.
So you said that one of the biggest things, like if we were going to ask you, okay, you're part of this mastermind, it gives you accountability, it changes that loneliness feeling, like I'm on an island and I don't know where to go. You have somewhere to go. You've got, I don't know how many members you said, but you got, 10 to 12 people that you can reach out to, whatever it is. But the thing that you immediately went to was, I now have a scorecard. Give me just a quick idea of what this scorecard, and you don't need to run through the whole thing, but like tell me the essence of what that is and what that's meant to your business.
Yeah, so we have one that's for commercial, we have one for service, we have one for sales, personal line sales, and it just holds the whole team. We work just like what I think everybody talks about. We figured out where we want to be at the end of the year, and we work backwards. And then through working that backwards, we said, okay, what do we need to hit to make that year end goal? What are some activities, some behaviors that we need to hit? And a lot of it comes down to outbound calls, bundling, close percentage, the outbound call volume. So, premium, what's been sold. So we're tracking all that with a focus that, hey, when you come in, you're not trying to think about, okay, what do I need to do today? You've already got it laid out.
Yeah.
Hey, these are my 3-4 priorities that I've got to do. And then these are the tasks I need to do to accomplish those. So every Monday we have our, I call it a MOS, more Monday. We want more and more. We want growth, more and more and more. Monday accountability scorecard,
Mm.
right? So that's my boss meeting. Might have a
Got to
little.
bring in Taco Bell breakfast or something for
That's
that.
right. Go Moss, right? Made that up. That sounds good. I might have to change it now. But we put everybody gets, just like we run our mastermind. Now I run the same way I run our Monday morning meeting, where
Cool.
everyone gets 5 minutes. Tell me what you did. Tell me what was a challenge. Did you hit your goal? Did you not hit your goal? If you hit your goal, hey, let's throw confetti up in the air. Let's reward you. Let's hype it up. If you had challenges, okay, how can everybody in the group provide input to where you can fix it? And what are you doing? What did you do last week, and what do you got going on this week?
I love that structure. That sounds like a really productive meeting structure.
Definitely. I mean, it isolates everyone, and it also really keeps us as a true team. because
Hmm.
now there's no weak links. And if there is one, everyone's involved to say, okay, that can't happen again. What can we do to fix it?
So, here's the deal. Being part of a mastermind group, I think it's a powerful thing to be part of another, but Um, I was just on a call with a really amazing friend in the industry, and he was saying, I feel like you're always doing for me, I don't do for you, which is not true. That's not how I actually live my life, and it's not the way he lives his life. But, there's this feeling like I don't want to just take, I want to give as well. So if the scorecard is one of the best things, or the hiring process is one of the best things, what do you think the biggest thing is that you've given to the mastermind?
That's a great question. I think everybody in the group will say something different.
Sure, of course.
I think every time someone speaks in their hour, I feel like there's pieces you can take back and say, okay, I need to focus on this. Or they're having the same challenges I'm having. What are they doing? And then I'll share what we're doing. You know, I know for me, we really put a lot of focus on training and role playing and sales. I
Mm.
mean, I just that's what I'm great at. That's what I love to do. I love talking to people. We've really focused on our storytelling aspect of things. And so I'd like to think they've all gotten something from that. But I know there's just in me talking about how we run things and the challenges we've had to overcome. I think everybody's taking notes. Everybody takes something from everything. And what I love about our dynamic of our group, our mastermind group, is everybody's at a different level. We've got some people that are 50 million in premium. We've got people that are 5 million in premium. I mean, we've got all walks of life.
We've
We've
got
got
people at the
people that
beginning of their
are
career. You've got people that might be looking to exit at some point. We have people everywhere in between. Like that's why I asked you, to be quite honest, because sometimes I think depending on where you are in your process or your evolution, you feel like you don't have something to give, but the reality is everybody has something to give,
fact.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
accurate. And
Absolutely.
it goes beyond that. I mean, we've got men, women. We've got a married couple that is both are in the agency working. I mean, we've got every facet you can imagine covered, and that's what's so great about it because you can whether you are on that path or not, you can learn something from it.
Yeah, yeah. So give me an idea of the nuts and bolts. I mean, I get it. This has been a mastermind that's working, and I think in our industry, the word mastermind gets used different
A
ways.
lot.
But this genuinely sounds like what it should be, which is accountability and all of that. So give us some nuts and bolts. What kind of information do you share with each other?
Great question. And everything. We
Nice.
had a meeting last year where everyone was required to bring all their financials. So obviously, we have a pact. We all have attorney ears and tongues. So none of that is told outside of the group. But in that room, you knew exactly where everyone was at, what their profit looked like, what their EBITDA was like, their loss ratio, profitability, everything. I mean, we really dove into it for a reason. We want to know, okay, what's going on with your agency? Are you growing? I mean, that's the whole purpose of the mastermind, that you should be growing, right?
Right.
And so if you're stalled or you're getting too many challenges or you're going backwards, let us help you fix that. We're going to
Yeah,
give you the
yeah.
advice. You're going to walk out of here with a game plan to grow. And, I love our mastermind. We're all great people, and there's a lot of challenges in our industry right now. So there's so much to talk about. But what I love about our group is everybody's so optimistic. Everybody's got such great leadership skills that we're all moving forward. We're all pushing it forward, even with all the struggles. But I mean, literally, there is nothing not said. There's nothing not shared. I mean, I know family stuff about these agents that no one knows.
Yeah. It's important though to have the context because
It is.
if you go to a meeting and someone that you've never met before across the room says something, you have no context of where they are in their evolution, how much, what's their staff, what's their mix of business, what's their location, what are the challenges they have in their market that don't exist in your market. Like there's a lot of things, and it's not that you want to discredit it, but having perspective on who's saying it and while they're saying it allows you to take that information in a different way. So having an intimate understanding of that, I think makes it even more powerful. And data in and of itself makes things a little bit more powerful. So that's huge, but it also takes a high level of trust, right? I
Yeah.
Absolutely.
mean,
I mean, what you said, that's well said. I'll also add that we also go through all the tech,
Mm,
nice.
so, hey, what technology are you using? How have you used it? How has it helped you grow? What has it done for you? Right. And then we've also had meetings where we're like, okay, what are you getting rid of? So
yeah.
where are your expenses and what are you getting the worth out of that expense? If you're not, get rid of it. And we have a meeting. We've had meetings with just that.
It's an important topic. I mean, it's also, it's an important topic because sometimes you forget about it and it's just a lingering one. But it's also, everybody always wants to talk about the positive, right? Here's this great new shiny tool, but no one wants to say, this tool isn't doing what it needs to. What tools are you using that maybe do the same thing but do it better? And in the stage of insurtech we are in right now, new things are getting developed, new programs on existing things are getting developed all the time. It's so hard to stay on top of your tools. Even like for us, we just found out that HubSpot just released a whole new form builder, which would have been incredibly helpful to have. And we're like, okay, cool. How can we leverage this, existing tool that we have, but the upgraded version of it that's free? We already have it, but we just didn't know that it existed until we opened the stupid thing and saw that there's a cool new feature on it. So that's really cool. Do you guys ever have, is it all internally run, or do you ever bring in speakers to come and talk about something and then let it happen? Like let the conversation happen after?
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if I'm able to let the bombshell go right now, but we've got an awesome speaker coming to our Charleston location. So that's going to be great. And yes, we do. I will say that we are very strategic in who we allow to come in and speak.
Mm.
We've had, so many variety of agents, but then also vendors that will come in and just we give them an hour and say, hey, the show is yours for this hour, so we can learn about a little bit more about you and a little bit more about what you do. So that's been great. I mean, I can't even. We've had so many. I can't even remember. I don't even know if I'm able to say because, like I said, we
Yeah.
keep it in house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We
Gotcha.
want that to be special just for us,
I love
and
that.
and really, take get us to another level, get us ahead
Yeah. I
of
love
some
it.
of the other, get us ahead of the crowd.
So listen, this has obviously been super impactful in your business, but it's taken a lot too. Like you got to trust, you got to be willing to do the work, you got to be willing to show up and give, you got to be willing to share your data. If you were going to give advice to someone who's never been part of a mastermind and either they wanted to start something or they wanted to find an opportunity, like what advice would you give them? Number one, like how would you go about that process?
I think, like I said, I feel blessed that I'm in ours, and I think opportunity comes, and you have to be ready, and you have to be willing to take advantage of it. And I knew when I saw Nate at that table working on his presentation, I knew I was ready to put in the work, and I knew I was ready for it. I just needed an opportunity to say, "Hey, you have a chance of getting in here," and I was not going to let that chance pass me by. For me, I needed it because I get a tendency to be all over the place. I like to be everything to everyone. And right now, this year, I'm really concentrating on just narrowing my focus down. And I would say if someone was looking, they they need a friend. They need a friend in the business that they can trust, that they can count on, that they can build something on. We're very fortunate that we have Steve Holly in our group, and he's kind of like our ringleader. He really holds the meeting. He sets the Zoom calls. He communicates with everyone. He set up the group email. I mean, he's done so much. I mean, the guy is a true leader. He put everything together. He keeps everybody on task for the group. And he leads it in a way that I don't know can be duplicated. I think if someone, I'm sure there's other groups out there. They've got it. I'm sure they're doing things on their own, right? They've got to have their own way. But the people in that group are tight, right? And I think that's the most important thing. And when someone goes to create this group, I think it falls apart because there's no buy-in. And so for us, what we do is everyone every year, and it might be going up, contributes $500 to stay in the group. And what that covers, it helps cover the lodging when we go to these trips. It covers a lot of different things. Our group tends to drink a lot of wine, so sometimes it helps for that. You have to put something in it, and then you have to be very careful about who you choose to be in your group. Because here's the thing. You invite someone in that's not a fit, it's hard to get rid of them. It's hard to get them out.
And it changes the dynamic.
It
Like it
really
changes
does.
what you've built. So yeah, I totally get it.
And you might not get as much from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's really
here's the other
good.
thing. You also have to get just good human beings because there's a lot of people out there that just want to, take and not
Sure.
give.
Yeah. Which is why I asked you, like, listen, if all you can come up with is what you've gotten out of the group, but you can't come up with what you've given, then you probably shouldn't be in the group anymore. Like that's the reality, right? So I just think here's the last thing I'll say about this topic. Man, are we fortunate to be in an industry where competitors come together to help each other grow and flourish. I will tell you, I say it a lot and I see it over and over, but it's the number one thing that made me want to be part of this industry. When I first came into the industry, I thought insurance, yeah, that's not a thing I want to be a part of, but boy oh boy, you meet the most incredible people and it is not a single person. It is literally the culture of our industry that you want to help each other. So if someone's listening to this and you're not part of a mastermind or you think, man, I feel alone, maybe it's time to start a mastermind and find your people because there's so many people out there that need what you need and want to see it. And I watch it. Like there's some scratch agencies that now meet and help each other. There's a lot of groups out there and they all look and feel different. You just got to find your place. And it's impressive to watch you guys and see what you're doing. And I appreciate that you came on and shared your
Can I just add,
experience.
I
Yeah,
would
sure.
find someone that you admire also.
Yeah,
Find someone that you're striving to be because we have a lot in our group that I strive to be like. I mean,
sure.
there's tons. And I'll also say this, I mentioned Steve Holly. Steve Holly literally we're both in Virginia. We're 3 hours apart. I'm sure we market to each other in our backyards. I would like to think, we're best friends.
Yeah,
He's my best friend. I'm his. I mean, we talk and it's like we just talk about our families. We talk about business. What's great about having Steve in the group for me is that he knows we have the same struggles because we're in the same state. And there's no, hey, I don't want to tell Jason this because he might steal my idea and then he's out going to grow me. And I share everything with him. So I wouldn't say that it's I got to find somebody in a different state or I've got to do this or I would find someone that you get along with, that you admire, that you can start a cool thing with. I mean, and grow it.
totally get it. I totally agree. All right, now I'm going to share a really funny story with you about Steve Holly because you mentioned him twice, and I just think this is hilarious. So, in
I've got a
closing,
couple as well.
well, this podcast worthy. How about that? I posted recently that my husband and I celebrated our 31st anniversary, and Steve Holly texted me and said, "You're not going to believe this. I got married on the same day and the same year as you and your husband. We are anniversary twins, I think is
That
what he
is
said.
awesome.
So yeah, isn't
That's
that
so
funny?
fun.
Yeah, isn't that
Yeah.
hilarious? So anyway, I agree. Steve Holly's one of a kind. You have so many great people in your group, and you are an incredible person, Jason. Like
Thank
it's
you.
I appreciate you sharing this because I think if someone's feeling like, man, I just feel alone, like go find your people. They're out there. That's the truth, right?
And I'll just add, even without a mastermind, there's so many people in the industry. I've just cold called and said, "Hey, will you be my
Yeah.
friend?" I'm like, "Hey, I respect the heck of what you're doing. How do you do it?"
Yeah.
And just learn from them. And I think that's how I've met so many people because I'm not a stranger. I'll just flat out I'd like to. And another thing is that I do take a lot of pride in. I do follow up with people. Like
Sure.
I check on people.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. You got to be a good human, right? So
That's
anyway,
it.
well, thanks for coming on and checking in with us. I look forward to seeing you soon. And
Definitely.
listen, don't
Very
ever be a
soon.
stranger. Yeah, don't ever be a stranger. I like you, love people, so I look forward to. And if someone is looking for a way to get started, don't hesitate to reach out to Jason. He will take your call for sure. All right.
Definitely. Thank you.